Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast. The staff of the programme are alarmed at the overnight violence associated with the celebration of the 12th. The presenter is unmoved. He's seen too much. Look at the papers today. Unrest in the province. Nigel Dodd said that the violence could have been worse last night if the PSI hadn't secured the rooftops. Welcome to Stalingrad. Hey, good morning. Isn't that great?
You shouldn't laugh, you know.
No, but this is the piece. This is the piece. The piece is working. It's working. The roofs are secured. I mean, whenever you go to New York, that's the first thing you look to make sure the roofs are secured. You know, when you're walking around shopping, you know. They're on the roof.
Stop it.
I love this country. I really do.
I have given up.
I know you've given up, but I gave up years ago. You see, the thing is, you didn't give up until too late. It was too late before you gave up.
I gave up long before you.
No, you cared. You cared about things.
I did. No, you're right.
You thought that things would change.
Yes.
You know, you didn't realise that nothing matters.
No.
Remember, I used to tell you, nothing matters. Doesn't matter.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing can matter. Nothing will change until everybody dies and is reborn again. I know. I don't mean reborn again.
I know.
In about 50 years' time, maybe somebody else said, "Jimmy starting to stutter." Maybe in 50 years' time, someone said, "Boy, Protestants are the same as us. There's no difference between us." 50 years' time, by that time, we'll be dead and gone, so it won't matter. So there's no point in getting upset about it. Regretting lost opportunities, Carlos Interruptus has of late taken to talking about women. One often finds this when chaste people approach death. They find themselves wondering what might have been.
Why do women like the saxophone?
Because it's wistful. That's why, Sean, it's wistful. Because that's a trumpet, isn't it?
It didn't sound like a saxophone.
Well, I can't do a saxophone.
No.
Listen, a person writes to me, I'm very upset. Look, Ken, our engineer, came in the other day and he handed me a big thick sheaf of things. And these are messages from the people that you never bothered to send to me.
No, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what happened.
It's very upsetting.
Let me tell you what happened. Ken came to me and he said to me, he says, "You're in bother."
He talks like that, yes,
I says, "What?" He says, I'm marking your card now. You're in bother.
That's the way he talks.
What do you mean I'm in bother?
It's pretty good impersonation.
And he says, "The newsroom boys." I said, "What?" He says, "When they come in to do the programme, it was all your text messages come out and none of their stories." So they're reading your text messages during the news.
I know what happened. The machine jammed.
The machine jammed.
And
I'm sitting in here in another. I'm sitting in here in another room from the printer, as you well know.
Yes.
And I just press print, thinking they've been fed out to you. And when I went in when the programme was over, they were all gone, thinking you got up and you took them from the tray.
Here's an idea. Next time you print a lot of messages like that, why don't you say in my ear, "Cherry, did you get those?" It's only an idea. I'm just flying it in the air, you know.
Yeah.
See, did you get those? And one of them was, I read an interview that you and Sean did in the local newspaper. Was that the newsletter the other week? I didn't know that Sean did impressions. Well, you see, you wouldn't know because he doesn't do them anymore because he said he's not getting enough money. I mentioned it to my mum and dad. They raved about how amazing Sean's impressions are when he used to do them years ago. I wanted to know if I could hear a few. P.S. I was surprised to see Sean's photo. I always thought he was a younger man. As always, Jerry, you're much like fine wine. You just get better with age.
Well, can I just say, on that note, on that subject, there's a lovely photograph of you in the Belfast Telegraph.
It's horrible.
There's a wonderful photograph of you in the Belfast Telegraph.
I look like an old
today.
white-haired man. It's not representative of me at all.
Well, it's there.
They don't like me in the Belfast Telegraph. They always print the photographs and make me look horrible. The presenter sorted past as the cause of no little curiosity when he previously mentioned that, in an earlier career as a man who boarded ships, he saw evidence of women occupying berths that were meant solely for men, but the men didn't mind. Sean asked Jerry, did the sailors ever bring on the ship the ladies of the night for a bit of tweedledee-dum-dum? I really would well, you know, that's a topic we were talking about the other day. Do you remember when
Surely not.
Oh, yes.
Wouldn't be allowed.
Oh, of course they're
How
allowed.
could you get a girl on a boat?
I'll tell you now exactly how it happens. I used to work on the boats.
What about the boy at the top of the gangway, the thing with the rifle? Guarding them? What?
That's only, during the Troubles.
No. Was there not a soldier, like a sailor, stopping you from walking up the gangplank when you go on the boat on the boats?
Yes, in military ships, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what we had. The Navy. It's part of the military.
Let me just say 2 words to you, Sean. Merchant Navy. Many, many ships could come into...
We're talking about sailors. That's what the man said. Did he not?
You mean a merchant sailor isn't a sailor?
No, but...
Sailors. A sailor, a merchant sailor.
Aye, but I'm talking about sailors.
Oh, you mean sailors with little white hats?
Aye. A
But
sailor's
see,
a sailor.
He doesn't specify that.
But that's what he's talking about.
Well, they
You
did.
know that.
The sailors did do that. They did do that.
Did they do what?
Brought women onto the
Are
boats.
you talking about a uniform
Now,
sailor?
we have to be very careful here because there are children at home from
Yeah,
school.
but as a uniformed sailor.
Uniformed sailors, yes. They did that, yeah. They brought women onto the ship, yeah. I often saw that. As a matter of fact, let me just...
They brought them on to tidy their cabin.
Yeah, because they couldn't
that.
get anyone to sweep
right.
the floor, so they give them a little brush and they give them a little mop and said, "You wouldn't tidy that up first, would you?" And the girls did it gladly, and sometimes they give them money for it.
Yes.
And sometimes they give them a little refreshing drink. The presenter now tells a story which again may or may not be true. You be the judge, you're the audience. I went to a gospel meeting one time, purely by accident, probably for the same reason as maybe perhaps many people would go to see Peter the blind pianist Jackson. There was an organist, a jazz organist called Jimmy Smith, who recorded a song well in the 60s called "Walking the Wild Side." He was good. He used to play this big Hammond organ, and it was a wonderful, wonderful jazz sound. It was very, very kind of staccato and wow. I must play some of it sometime, and I was a very big fan of his. But he dropped out of music, and he became a lay preacher. And, you don't think of anything at all, really. And I was looking through... Do you know in the Belfast Telegraph sometimes they have a whole page of all the kind of churches and what's on, that kind of thing? I remember looking at that one time because every once in a while I would look down to see what the crack was. What God was up to these days. And I saw a little ad for a well-known church, I won't name it, in Derrystoke, London, Carlisle Road, basically, a little gospel hall. And it said, organist Jimmy Smith. I went, what? I suddenly realised, I said, this is my hero. He's an American black guy. Wonderful, wonderful musician. He dropped out, you see, found Jesus and dropped out. And I said, look at that. He's playing there and nobody knows anything about it. So I says, I'll go to it. And I went up and I stood in the back and out came this white guy. It wasn't him at all. And they closed the door. I couldn't get out. I had to stay for 2 hours. It was awful.
I went to see Billy Graham.
Did you? Did you? Why did you do a thing like that? If I may ask
I
you.
liked his preaching.
Did you? And did you enjoy him whilst he was there?
Thoroughly.
Did you?
Yeah.
You never told me that before.
I know.
That's almost frightening.
Yeah.
Cherry, could you please play They're Coming to Take Me Away, by Napoleon the 14th for Lily Lynch, who is a reliable listener.
Oh, that's good. Well, could you play Days Like This by Van Morrison for Mark in Belfast?
Okay. That's it. It is discovered that Coilus Interruptus has a fetish for ancient movie stars. This seems not entirely healthy, but then again, not entirely altogether surprising.
My dream date?
Barbara Stanwyck.
No.
You used to like her.
No, I never liked her.
You discovered she had breasts.
I never liked her. She spoiled the cowboy films.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's your dream date? Angelina Jolie?
No.
Who?
I would say...
Did you see that thing on YouTube?
Doris Day.
Doris Day. She's 85.
Doesn't matter.
You like the mature, do you?
I like Doris Day.
Did you see that film last night on UTV called Hollywood Lives? Did you see that?
No.
It was made for a person...
Last night was the most beautiful night. I was out playing golf until the...
You did the right thing. Hollywood Lives was made for people with the IQ of 1. It was very, very good indeed. Carl Verheyen was on. They managed to make him look as if he couldn't play the guitar, which is some feat, I have to say.
Doris Day or Betty Davis?
What about Lillian Gish?
No.
Carol Lombard?
No, those two.
All right.
I draw the line.
I draw the line too.
What would I talk to Doris Day about if I got the chance to meet Doris Day? I'm sure she's browned off talking about Calamity Jane.
I just moved in from the windy city. She was mighty pretty, but it ain't got what we got. I'm telling you, boy, I wouldn't swap the half-foot Deadwood for the whole of Illinois. You could start off like that. Around about this time of the year, it is not unknown that men who seem not entirely sober make their way onto the airwaves. This makes the presenter nervous as he waits to hear what their mouths have to say. You're not the same, Francie. Have you been probed by aliens?
Yes, I am the same, Francie.
You're a liar.
I'm not.
It's not him.
It is me.
Not Sean by the Arbiter.
No, that
No,
man.
no.
That man
This
there,
man's an imposter.
that's Geordie's neighbour and driver.
Yes.
That's the wrong Francie then. Okay then.
Hold
If-
on, Sean.
Yes.
The PNS and I don't allow me to drive anymore.
Right,
Did they
then
not?
that's fair enough. But you're
That's twice.
you're now you're in Geordie's house.
What are you
now.
laughing at?
Twice the PSNI are forgiving you to drive. Forbidden you to
But
drive.
that's twice.
Third time, you're out.
No, I'll never be caught the third time.
That's absolutely no man should be caught a third time.
Well, unfortunately.
It all depends what you did. I'm not going to ask you what you did.
No, well,
Are you
sure.
still? You're not.
Well,
Are you, do you
that
still?
man there, do you see that man there behind you, Jerry?
Yes.
He's class.
Crass.
Class, yeah.
CRASS.
Without
Right.
him, you wouldn't have a show.
Now listen, Francie.
What?
Francie is there in Geordie's house
Yes.
to get eggs. Isn't that right?
Oh, why didn't he say that?
Well,
Yeah, I know.
yes,
Instead of pretending to be- instead of pretending to be pro, but-
I come up for eggs,
Yes.
but I got more than eggs.
What did you get?
Well, I had there's my dad.
There's
I walked into my dad's house the other day, and he had a smellless face, and I said, "Holy, what's going on here? You know, it's not like him."
the
I said,
smile
"What's
when he
going
sees
on?"
you.
And you know what was on?
What? I'm almost afraid.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yep. And I walked in, and my dad says, "Will you sit down there?" But I says, "Well, see, I always get in with my dad, and every Friday afternoon, I go to my dad's every Friday afternoon
Yes, you
because I
said,
lost my license, you know.
you've said that twice.
As you know, well,
Yes.
Geordie, but get down here, man.
I think the two of them have been at the cooking sherry.
Oh, yes, I've been on the cooking sherry. That's what I told you.
Okay. You went. Oh, I see what you mean now. You went down for eggs, but you get more than that.
Oh, what?
All right then. Well, maybe
You
perhaps.
know, but Jerry, do you know whenever I'll Darby girl found the crate in the bog?
Yes.
Well, I think I found more than the crate in the bog.
Oh, well, let me just guess what this might be. Have you dug up a certain bottle of a certain liquid,
I would say
which
maybe 2 bottles.
which has been buried for some time?
Will you hardly wish a minute?
Geordie! Where's Geordie? Yes.
I don't know. I think he's
Right.
away.
I think we might
I think we
leave.
should ring him back,
I think,
Guy.
yes.
Yeah, we'll ring him back when we find Geordie.
We'll ring you
wish-
back.
no,
All right then. Thank you.
We'll bring him.
Thank-
Right, well, there's a wee call on too. I wonder where Geordie is. That's
a man who doesn't
some
know
meeting,
where-
that isn't it?
Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.